when it comes to those cutoffs, it's one of those things where I don't know if you saw, but Probe was very happy that that Ender won, because if Seether won, then he would have knocked Probe out of those standings, and then Seether would have been the one to advance to IEM Katowice. As they don't really have much faith in their ability to get more points in like TSL and all that stuff. It's like DreamHack is like the main place where they can accumulate those.
Watch that come out of nowhere. just steal the seat from Probe.
Mm-hmm.
Or an Exed. You know what, Ryan? Steal it.
Now's his time. Now's his moment.
Now's your time.
And speaking of time, he's not here.
Aha! No, instead, we are going to be kicking off this best of 5 grand finals here on Oxide LE. As we breathe, our lungs get oxidized. And oxidization could lead to rust. Oh no, wait. Is that good? In the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Zug player coming down from the land of South Korea. We have the sexy boy himself, representing Jin Air Green Wings Jaguar. It is Rogue.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, going for, I believe, a 12 pool, could be a 14 pool. Regardless, it's quite early. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Dark. I think it was a 12 pool.
Seems that way. 6-6 coming down, and here's what worries me. We've seen Dark do this before. We've seen Dark do this specifically against Rogue before. It works maybe 1 every 10 times he does this.
Oh, we'll see if this is going to be one of those times, as the drones are being pulled across the map as well. We have Lings, we have drones, we have everything rushing across the map, and so far he's done a good job at avoiding the first Overlord. Going to be avoiding every single Overlord.
Rogue doesn't see it. It's pretty key going down, but there is already a natural base coming out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he is expanding. He did go for a hatch gas pool opening, and you know what? He's here. Oh, the drone was able to spot this.
Yeah, and once the drone sees that, that's just about gives Rogue all the information he needs. The flip in his brain has just about switched. He knows what's coming out for him. He knows what Dark wants to do, and he is just drone drilling to the best of his ability.
Yeah, but I don't... This is getting a little bit scary for Rogue, because again, Dark, all he wants to do is he needs to buy time for his spines to finish up, and so far he's done a good job. Oh, here come the drones.
Ooh, yeah, that was a massive drone, and he's trying to drill. Dark is dodging these drones so well.
Oh my
god.
God.
Now Rogue evacuates onto natural base. These spines are going to finish, and look at that, they are in range.
Of the pool. They're in range of the spawning pool, which means no more Lings are going to be coming out once it goes down. But you know what? Dark, he's trying to get to low ground, but Rogue is not letting him.
No, he is not. Oh my god, that spine is looking pretty exposed, but Rogue doesn't go for it. And those drones are a little bit out of position right now. There is one spine on the low ground, now really attacking that queen. Dark, you need to prevent the surface area coming down, buddy. Or maybe not. He just needs to drag these drones into the range of the high ground spines.
Yeah,
something up quite a bit.
The spawning pool does go down, and you know what? There is one spine that is covering the low ground spine. Is it enough? The queen went down as well, and this could be just barely enough for Dark.
I think Rogue has a little bit enough. No, it is not just enough for Dark. That is the 1 in 10 times we see that spine crawler rush from Dark work against Rogue. GG. Oh boy. I was so worried for Dark there. I was like, well, I guess Rogue takes this game now. He's gonna be up 1-0.
Like, honestly,
I feel like Dark found just the right positions.
Yeah, I mean, Rogue was doing a really good job at keeping his drones alive. That's why I was a little bit concerned for Dark, because he wasn't killing any of the workers. But the big mistake that Rogue did was that he allowed that spine to get to the low ground. He allowed that spine to burrow in the mineral line of the natural, and with that, like, that was exactly what Dark needed.
Absolutely. He also did a really good job of buying time with that for his spine crawlers as well. I mean, I'm just honestly looking at my second screen at the stream right now, and he just like waddled back and forth. He thought, "Oh, I'm going for your droned up or your drilled drones," and he's like, "Yeah, just kidding. I'm gonna retreat to my somewhere around here." And that was it. Kept Rogue uncertain enough that he just continued to keep his drones drilling in that one mineral patch.
Yeah.
Just enough for Dark to take it. And we'll see if he can keep this up here as we go into map number 2. It is going to be Lightshade LE, where in the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, the Blues player coming down from the Jinner House in South Korea, in Seoul, if I'm not mistaken. No, it is Seoul. Yeah, it's got to be Seoul. Or else could it be? Going to be representing Jinner Greenwing's Jaguar. The sexy boy himself, it is Rogue.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He's already up 1-0 in this best of 5. His break was longer than that game. He is Dark.
Do you think he took that break just to watch a replay and be like, that's how I have to do my spine rush?
Exactly.
Come on to you, Dark.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why there are Zerg players who actually get their spawning pool on the edge of the creep, over near the ramp, and that's designed to, stop that from happening. It's a little bit harder to get those spines down to cover, both the natural and the main base, things of that nature. But Rogue, he played it out normally, and he was just not expecting that from Dark.
Yeah, you can't play normal against Dark.
Yeah, not at all. But you know what? What's scary is that Dark, he's playing out this game 2. Mate, it's on Lightshade.
It is on Lightshade, a very, very wide open map, a very long rush distance map. So both players, you see that they are open up pretty standard, pretty macro. Yeah. And yeah, I guess we're gonna be able to get to the mid game, and there's a world of possibilities out right there for both of our players. But if you had to tie me up right now and say you have to decide how each player is going to play without any information, I would say Dark goes Roaches, Rogue, Nidus. May or may not be Swarm Host.
Nidus Swarm Host? Okay.
Maybe not Swarm Host, but Nidus of some kind.
Yeah,
right into the main.
We'll see how this game works out. We'll see if some of these players decide to wall off on 2 bases, if they play pretty standard and take a third. We already see Dark is doing just that. He is taking his 3rd hatchery. Meanwhile, Rogue still on 2.
Oh, Rogue is still on 2, and he goes for a quick lair. What have you got planned for us, sexy boy?
Oh boy, so you were talking about Nidus. Nidus could be an option here, depending on how many gases he takes. It could be 2-base fire. I don't think it is, just because he is lacking those workers, he's lacking those gases. It's going to be really...
Nidus Roach. Nidus Roach.
So we could be seeing Nidus. We could just be seeing a fast Roach feed.
Nidus Roach. Come on, Rogue. You're on Lightshade. You know you want to do it.
Oh, mate, he's walling off.
That's not a solid ball, is it? Is that a solid ball?
A queen plugs it up.
Queen, yep. Yeah, queen blocks it up. Yeah, so that's not as confirmed as if it was a solid wall.
Yeah, we shall see as he is taking the rest of his gases as well. Again, you can go for either a Nidus, and it looks like, oh, he's going for the Spire.
Yeah, Spire going down. So this is going to be a bit of a fake out here coming out from Rogue. I like it.
Yeah, not as much of a fake out. There's a couple of things you can do as a Zerg player. Like, you can start an upgrade, whether it's +1 melee to make it look as if you're getting +1 range. So it still looks like you're going Roaches. At the moment, Dark, he doesn't have complete vision. He hasn't scouted the lair. He hasn't scouted the gases, but he does know that his opponent is on 2 bases. So he is still aware that something cheeky is going on.
That it is. Is it going to come from the ground, or is it going to come from the air? Don't see any spores coming out as of yet from Dark, but he is getting his lair.
He is, and the problem is, like, you need to scout this so desperately. You need to see this, and then Dark can go for like a big roach timing, and try and end the game before the mutas really come into play. Like, this is so scary, and I'm honestly shocked that Dark hasn't gone in to confirm anything.
All right, he's moving Overlord around, and really just consolidating his forces a little bit outside over here. +1 range still a ways off, so probably not the major push that Dark is looking to get done.
God, yeah, and this is scary. All right, Dark knows. He goes in, he sees the Spine Forest being thrown down from Rogue, and that can only mean one thing, that is mutas. So Dark, he's aware, and he's going for the push. He has to try and deal so much damage right now with these Lings and with these Roaches.
Yeah, as much damage as he can before those mutalists pop out. 8 mutas, that is going to be very scary, even against these Roaches. I mean, they're tough, but they're in low numbers right now.
Yeah.
Dark forced to retreat.
Dark is forced to retreat, and an interesting decision here. He throws down his own defensive spire.
What? Yeah. He's gonna be playing catch up so hard.
He will if he decides to go mutas. I think he's crazy and a madman if he decides to go mutas. The reasonable decision to go from here is to go corruptors, because as you said, trying to catch up in that muta count when your opponent already has that advantage is so difficult in a mirror matchup.
It absolutely is. So likely it's going to be corruptors, but you never really know with Dark.
Exactly, because the thing is, like, Dark has the economic advantage. He has 6 gases, so technically because of that gas count he can catch up, but oh my god, there's nothing on the ground to defend.
He does have more production as well. The Spore are in a lot of trouble for the Lynx. There are a lot of queens out though, and just enough transfuse energy to keep them alive.
Oh my god.
These mutas, but man, these Lynx on the ground.
Exactly, and the thing is that there are no spores to help defend this. You know what? The queens are running out of transfuse energy. Another queen goes down, and again, there's only 3 queens remaining, but it looks like there are just enough to reset, or, you know, at least clear out some of these mutas.
Yeah, for now they are. Here comes another reinforcement of the Lynx as well as these Zerglings, and there we go. Dark starting to get some corruptors, but it's going to be a little bit... It's going to be a while before they come out. Dark is winning the ground war, but there's nothing to help him in the sky.
Yeah, the thing is that Dark, he has to make sure the third doesn't die. Like, he has to try and buy time for his corruptors and make sure the Lings, things don't get out of hand, and Dark is able to keep his base advantage.
Yeah, base advantage, worker advantage. Hasn't lost too many workers during this assault. Spore Crawler will get taken out, but it does, as you said, just buy him a lot of time. The corruptors are now in play.
Yeah, and with this, the corruptors are able to shoot away the mutas, and the roaches are going to be able to deal with the Lings. And what's so important is that Dark has been able to keep his third base alive.
Whoo, boy. And now Rogue only now, see, that's the problem with having the clan tag in the name. Rogue only now going to be able to get that third base of his own up. Dark still far ahead in the worker count.
Yeah,
just them.
Yeah, Rogue, he was trying to go for a bit of a run by, you know what, the Lings, they couldn't do anything. The mutas are actually committing to this fight, fighting toe-to-toe with the corruptors. I don't know if that's the best move here for Rogue.
Well, he does have +1 flyer weapons, and he is doing a pretty good job of target firing, but in the end, there's just way too much armor on these corruptors for the mutas to crack through.
Yeah, and I'm honestly surprised. Rogue, he's committing to the mutas. Like, he is just pumping out more and more of them. I mean, as you said, he does have that upgrade advantage, so he can, and, you know, the mutas, they are faster than the corruptors. You can harass and, you know, hope that Dark doesn't have his units where they need to be.
And so far, he doesn't.
Yeah, so far, he doesn't.
But he does have a couple of spore calls going up. Oh, the third base is looking pretty low, but the corruptors do get back in. Just working as a security force.
Yeah, pretty much. Again, these corruptors, they're ideal against mutas, but again, they are a little bit slower, and the mutas, they can utilize their mobility to their advantage, looking to try and find some damage in the natural, maybe the main base. Regardless, he's just keeping Dark busy. Meanwhile, Dark, he does send a couple of roaches across the map.
Yeah, pretty decent run by, just trying to really maintain the lead that he had earlier on, but the Spine Crawler definitely slows things down quite a tad. And Rogue has been joining up behind this. He's been really committed to catching back up in terms of the economy, and I gotta say, I think he's there.
Yeah, definitely. Things have very much so equalized. And at the moment, the problem is that Dark is stuck defending at home. And he has to be careful not to invest too much into Corruptors, right? Because the problem is, like, with the composition that Dark is going for, like, he can get all these Corruptors, but then after he kills the Mutas, like, what can they really do?
Turn to Brute Lords.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, there's a reason we don't see them too often in the ZvZ matchup. I suppose they can always try to, go around and caustic spray some buildings, but we'll see. As you said, the Mutas are a lot more mobile, and they are just that much more effective as a harassment force. And for Dark, I mean, these Corruptors are going to work double time, both harassing and defending.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what, Dark, he is trading fairly well here as best as he can against these Mutas. Dark, he didn't have enough on the ground to defend against the Lings, so Rogue did find some damage there. But you know what, Rogue, he's forced back. Dark, he's pushing out.
All the way back. Yeah, Dark pushing out with just about everything he's got. Still a little worried about his ground army, but the Corruptors absolutely reign supreme, and they can't caustic spray.
Oh, they definitely can caustic spray. It looks like the Roaches are going to get surrounded by the Lings. It could be. It looks like there are just enough Roaches.
Yeah, there just was enough Roaches and just not enough surface area for those Lings. This Spine Crawler is looking a little scary. Really soften up the Roaches for the Mutas and the Queens to really clean them out. So Dark just retreats away.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't. He especially doesn't want to fight in Spore range, and it looks like all the Roaches are going to go down. There was just barely enough for Rogue to defend.
Just about. Hasn't lost a worker there. Hasn't lost his base, and now Rogue is going to be the first to grab fourth.
Exactly. He is looking to grab that fourth base. Meanwhile, at the same time, he's looking to counterattack with these Lings, and again, these Corruptors, they can't do anything.
I was going to transfuse, and the Lings chased away, which is something. But it is still getting worrisome. Dark is continuing to make Corruptors.
He is. He has to be careful about this. Like, the thing is, you need to find a good balance, right? Just because, like, Roaches can't shoot up and Corruptors can't shoot down, they complement each other as long as you have, just the right amount of units. And at the moment, he's just struggling to deal with all these Ling run-bys.
That indeed he is. Good cancel here coming out from Dark. That's really going to put Rogue ahead in terms of the economy, and I'm honestly just kind of perplexed right now. Like, I'm looking at the production tab, and Dark is committed to Roach Corruptor. I don't think I've seen this too often.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that Rogue stopped making Mutas a while ago. He completely cut Muta production, and he's working on melee upgrades. He's just pumping out nothing but Lings. He's got a Hydra Den on the way. Like, he's transitioning out of this, and now, like, Dark is going to be stuck with Corruptors against Hydras. Like, that's the worst case scenario.
Or Dark is going to be stuck with Brute Lords against Corruptors.
I mean, if he had a hive, sure. he still needs an infestation pit. He still needs that hive to make that happen.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Another massive run by coming along, and there is no army here to defend. It looks like his third base will finally go down for Dark. And with that, Rogue, I mean, he already had a bit of an advantage, but now he's just secured it, lock and key. Dark going in with the massive counter push, though.
Yeah, exactly. Dark, he's down to 2 hatcheries. He has to do something with this army, but it looks like there just aren't enough Roaches.
No, there is not. Come on, Dark. You can concentrate that hatch.
Yeah, that's
there we go.
There we go. It looks like he's going to get the hatch, but you know what? At the cost of his ground army, it looks like all the Roaches, all the Ravages are going to be going down.
But those are some pretty good biles. Taking out a decent amount of the Lings, but in the end, it was still going to be just enough, especially with the Brute Lords. Snowball players on... Oh, no, Dark is actually behind. I thought he remade the 4th base.
Oh, I mean, he did, but he got cancelled by the Ling run-by, so... Yeah, he tried to expand, but Rogue was having none of it. Meanwhile, the Roaches are getting surrounded, the Hydras are coming out, and, I mean, to be fair, Hydras don't trade the best against Roaches, but, like, there's just so much going in Rogue's favor.
There absolutely is. He is dominating the grounds right now, and, I mean, I want to say that Dark would dominate the skies, but Rogue, he's a sneaky one. He's a bit roguish, if you will.
Exactly.
Dodging that fight.
Yeah, and I mean, as we pointed out earlier, like, he stopped Muta production a while ago. He has Hydras, and Corruptors are going to do absolutely nothing against him, so I love this. Dark, he's going to try and dive in and kill the lair.
Yeah, that is going to be his Hail Mary play right now. A good transfuse coming down. So many Spore Crawlers. The Mutalisk coming in from behind. And the Hydra's already in position to try to prevent this escape.
Oh, he does manage to get the lair, but you know what? At the cost of every single one of his corruptors. Oh, never mind. It looks like he did split up his corruptors in half. Half of them went to kill the lair. This one going for, ooh, the Hydrogen? Oh, no, just Overlords.
Yeah, just try to keep that supply down as much as he can. Whatever Dark can really do to buy himself some time. Another run by going in for Dark.
Oof.
Takes away. GG is called though, and Rogue gonna be evening up that series sideways 1-1. Dark just realized how far behind he was.
Yeah, GG.
GG. Bit of a slow game that went on this for game number 2, but I was just so, honestly, I'm just still so confused as to what Dark was planning at. He was ahead in army supply for quite some time that game. Problem is, his army was dead supply.
Yeah, exactly. There was this timing that he was trying to go for, and it almost worked, where he attacked across the map with his roaches and with his corruptors. If you recall, like, he was trying to break Rogue at his third base, but there just barely wasn't enough roaches and just barely too many corruptors, right? He just invested too much in those corruptors, not enough in the roaches, and because of that, he just had this imbalance in army, and as you said, he just had a bunch of dead supply towards the end. GG. And honestly, like, I feel for Dark. I've said this before, I'll say it again. It's always difficult to go up against Muta play when you scout it so late. But I do also want to put that a little bit on Dark, where he never like sent in an Overlord or something to confirm what Rogue was doing. Like, he found out about the mutas like basically as the Spire was finishing.
Yeah, to be fair, I think he still had a chance to turn things around. I mean, he dealt with the mutas decently well with his corruptors. The problem is, feels like he kind of tunneled there. He really tunneled with the Roach corruptor, and in the end, Rogue was the first one to say, you know what, we don't have to play this game. And speaking of not playing this game, we are now on the map Jagannatha LE, which happens when you play the game. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have the Red Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea, chilling out in that Jin Air house. He is representing Jin Air Greenwing's Jaguar, the only two-time Katowice champion to date. It is Rogue.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Dark.
I was getting a little nostalgic just thinking back to Rogue's 10 questions, 10 answers, and now I'm just thinking about it. I wish Dark had one. He would have had so many answers.
Yeah, it's such a shame. There was so much like good content out there surrounding Spot TV. I think that's the best thing about Spot TV. They had like amazing production and really good ideas when it came to that sort of stuff. I mean, you know, they're the ones that really propped up Sojung, if you remember. Like, she was kind of heading those interviews and, you know, working on a lot of content for them.
Oh yeah, she was.
Yeah. To the point where, like, I want to say she was brought on to like an international event to like be a translator, ? Like, I recall her doing more than just Korean events. But yeah, it was really great to see her, you know, become a part of the scene and really promote a bunch of Korean players, really, so that the foreigners can get a glimpse of their personality. It's something that a lot of people kind of thought they lacked, but, you know, things like 10 questions, 10 answers really helped with that.
I mean, you don't hear that too often nowadays, I feel. Or that sentiment has kind of died down, and it is thanks to a lot of things like 10 questions, 10 answers. It's a lot of things like the stuff that Afrika does through GSL, right? Where you're like, hey, here's a true or false machine. A lie detector test.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they did back in the Pro League days as well. They had a lot of games. They had dates. I don't know if you remember this, but some players went on dates with like the the viewers, which was amazing to see. Who was it? I think Hurricane went on a date. Who else? Dark, I think, as well. Sue. But yeah.
Oh, I remember Sue one.
Good times, good times. For those wondering, it was like a role playing thing where a pro player would go on the date and like the protagonist was like the cameraman, but like he wouldn't say anything. Exactly. It would just be captions.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They're kind of hard to find nowadays, unfortunately. Yeah,
they're all on YouTube, but I believe the titles are in Korean.
They are, and they also don't really categorize too much. It's pretty much straight up just Spo TV. It's pretty much just Spo TV, and that's all of their content they put in that one channel.
Yeah, I remember like a couple of months ago, I was trying to look for Hurricane's dates, and it took me a long time to find it. It was literally hours of searching. Ugh.
But it worked out in the end. And speaking of working out in the end, Rogue pushing all the way across the map with a small little force of links.
I was very confused. I was like, right. So we do have the first divergence in things where so far, like we've been talking about like just random stuff because things have been pretty slow. You know, they've all expanded. They've taken their third bases. You know, both players have taken their safety bailing nests as well. You know, not necessarily being aggressive, but we do see that Dark was the first player to go for his lair, getting it much faster compared to Rogue.
Are we going to see essentially what we see sometimes in mirror matchups where the player who loses straight up decides, you know what? You had a good strategy last game. I'm going to use it this game.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, we do have 4 gases. We do have the lair finishing up, so I wouldn't be surprised if Dark is the one to throw. Oh, he does not throw down the Spire. He starts +1 range.
Oh, interesting. Well, Dark, he is a Roach boy. He has used Mutas quite a bit in the past, but I feel like his bread and butter really is going to be his Roach play. His, as the game goes on later on, his ultras and what have you. Not really one known too much for his harass. He much prefers going for these sort of timing attacks that allow him to take control early on.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm really confused by the timing of this. So he does throw down the Spire. Like everything that he was doing screamed Spire, but then he started +1 range, and that really threw me off. I was like, what? And he does end up throwing down the Spire, but it was very late. It wasn't timed with his lair at all. So even though he got a faster lair, like in the end, like Rogues ended up finishing up, or like the tech is being thrown down around the same time. So Dark isn't able to utilize that advantage as well as he would have liked.
Yeah, Rogue actually going to be the first one to get his +1 range advantage. Although Dark will get his Galil quicker. I'm not sure how much that really matters though if you run face first into Roaches spinning at you.
Yeah, definitely. So it's really interesting how this is playing out. It almost felt like Dark was a little bit indecisive. Like the lair finished, and then he saw something that made him say, "You know what? I'm not going to go straight into Spire. I think it's a little bit too risky." So he's still investing in Roaches. Like it's just he's getting a Spire. I would imagine just for maybe 6 to 8 mutas, just to harass across the map, and still focus his main army on Roaches.
There we go. Just about 6. Okay, 7 mutas coming out here. But Rogue already, funnily enough, prepared to deal against this. I mean, he got the Hydrogen a little bit earlier on. Now drop a Lord. I mean, we'll see what it can get done against the Mutas. But actually, I think Rogue scouted this. Yep, scout the Spire.
Yeah. It's Rogue, he goes straight in, he scouts the Spire, he's aware of the Mutas, so that's going to prompt him to utilize that Hydrogen to pump out some Hydras to defend, and at the same time, he's going for a drop.
He is going for a drop. The Mutas are in position. The Mutas are out of position.
God, they're out of position, but you know what? The Dropper Lords are slow, so it's going to take some time for that to really kick in, and I like this. Dark, he knows that the Mutas got scouted, so he's just going around and killing Overlords and Overseers.
Yeah, get rid of the map vision for Rogue, and sometimes it also helps to keep their supply down. Rogue, I mean, he's now supply capped. 155 or 155. Buys up a little bit of time. Oh, Gun and Dark for spotting this.
Exactly, he is able to spot it, so the Roaches are in position, so Rogue isn't going to be able to deal any of this damage and get further supply blocked.
That's a lot of supply going down. Although, to be fair, I think it was, one Baneling and a couple of Zerglings, but, I mean, still, that was a complete change of plans coming out here from Rogue. He really's got to either give up on the harass or come up with a different way to harass.
Yeah, and we'll see how good Rogue's Roach Ravager control is, because if you go straight up Roach Ravager and if you max out first, like you can totally go toe to toe with like a Hydra Lurker Roach army of Rogue, because he does have the supply disadvantage. It's just that there is this timing and you have to hit it and then transition out of just pure Roach Ravager. Like otherwise you're just gonna get out teched by your opponent. And Dark, he knows this, he's going across the map.
Yeah, it is such a precise timing that you have to hit. And Dark, I mean, he's not necessarily always known for his precision, but it's enough force that it still works out. Should be on equal upgrades fairly soon. Rogue finishing up the infestation pit. The lurkers coming out, but these are unupgraded lurkers.
Oh,
where's the for Dark rather? Okay,
yeah, Dark does have an overseer, and it looks like he's trying to engage, but pushing into lurkers like this is not how you want to fight. Oh, he is out of range of the lurkers though.
Yeah, pretty far out of range, and forcing concave here. Forcing Rogue to push into a concave right now. Does he quite have enough? The lurkers move forward a little bit, but they still don't quite have the range. Rogue really used to fighting with his with upgraded lurkers.
Yeah, and
but
honestly,
it's still gonna be enough.
Like, I'm so surprised Dark, he was not controlling his mutas as that was happening. I was waiting for the opportunity where Dark is fighting and at the same time the mutas go in and deal some damage, but he just didn't have the attention for that, and the mutas, they come in now, but after the engagement ended.
Yeah, too many spores, I think. I'm not here from Dark, so he hesitated quite a bit.
Yeah.
As in that scenario, you tend to see the mutalists get shifted back into the army, but it was still pretty far away, to be fair. Dark.
Yeah, definitely. And now Dark, he's reinforcing again. He's still committing with this Roach Ravager. He is taking up behind this. Like, he does have an infestation pit and a hydrogen on the way. He just needs to buy time, and he goes face first into lurkers.
Owie. Doesn't even quite have the detection in position there. Rogue really spring up his lurkers as best he can. Really covering just about every entrance point here for Dark. There is this one narrow little ramp, but it's a narrow little ramp. Rogue can totally just jump on top of that.
Oh my god, and Dark, he pushes in. He does well and managed to kill one lurker, but that is only one, and now he's surrounded.
Completely surrounded. He lacks the detection light, and now he's gonna have to fight his way out of here. Still has a bit of an army advantage, but man, that was a costly retreat.
Definitely. But you know what, Dark, like, he needs to keep doing this. He has to keep Rogue busy with this army while he tries to remax at home. Rogue even supply blocked at the moment, but it looks like that this Roach Ravager force is going to get surrounded. Oh.
Yeah, that it will. Defeat in detail at its finest. Oh, the lurkers. They're catching up with the roaches, but they can't attack until they burrow. And now Rogue turning this flank around, getting a flank of his own. Still doesn't quite have the detection. Here come the mutas.
Oh,
and they're not enough Hydras, it seems.
It looks like all the mutas are going to be going down. There's only one remaining, and it looks like the lurkers may be too much. He borrows even more, pushing just further in.
Yeah, just about going to be enough right here for Rogue. Look at the army supply difference. Genius called. Rogue now a match point. Slow burn of a fiery finish.
GG. And again, Dark, he was a little bit hesitant when it comes to his Spire play. Like, he wasn't really sure of himself, and when he did finally throw down that Spire, it was late and it got scouted.
It was late, it got scouted. Mutas didn't really do too much. As the second defense was coming out here, Rogue really playing fantastically. I suppose how in a style that we kind of expect Rogue to play. You know, he just didn't take too many chances early on. He didn't go for any timings or any harass. I mean, he tried to go for that drop lord, but that was more for scouting than anything, really.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a big commitment. As you said, there was only one Baneling in there. It's not like it was like this big gas investment or anything like that.
Exactly. Just really playing it defensive and reactive.
Yeah.
Now watch as he's on match point 12 pool.
I would expect Dark to do that, yeah. I don't know, like, Dark, he needs to try and bring this back, and at the moment it just hasn't been going his way. He's been muted by Rogue, and he himself tried to go for a Spire play, but not quite as effective. We'll see what happens here as we load in to Death Aura.
Potentially the final map. And as we load into Death Aura, potentially the final map, LE of course standing for Lingering Extinguisher. That's when you use the fire extinguisher, but there's still like the foam inside. So you're like, you know what? I can use it for the next time. I know you can, but then there's still foam inside. And then you decide, you know what? I can leave it for the next time. But that time, there's not enough. In the top left-hand corner, Matt Swanning all the way in the top left-hand corner. A match point. Looking to win his first ever ESL Open Cup Pro Tour Asia Division Championship. And he is looking right on his way to get there. He is the Red Zerg player coming out from Seoul, representing Jin Air Green Wings Jaguar, the sexy boy himself. He's going to turn straight and go right himself. We have Rogue.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the other Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. It is Dark.
I got a bit of fun fact here for anyone out there who hasn't watched old content as religiously as I have. Can anyone guess who gave Rogue the idea for his ID?
Oh, was it a teammate?
You might know. Yeah, briefly a teammate.
Briefly a teammate. I'm going to hazard a guess, and just a complete guess. Was it true?
It was.
There we go.
Yeah.
As soon as you said brief teammate, I'm like, it's gotta be true.
It was true. Funnily enough, which is kind of weird because when he played Brood War, he wasn't Rogue then, was he?
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't. He was Hwasung something else.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what his ID was. Maybe it was true Rogue, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting fun fact. It's cool that he has that connection with True. True, of course, he is one of our favorite Zerg players. He's basically, an honorary Duckling in his own way. But yeah, at the moment he is currently doing his military service. Still quite a ways until he finishes that up.
Oh yeah, well he went in second quarter of the year, didn't he? Or at the end of the first quarter. So if I'm not wrong, in Korea it's about 18 months. So yeah, he's about to be 1 year in.
Yeah, I believe there is a countdown timer on his Discord server to when to when his military service finishes up. It's funny because in his server, like every now and then he pops in and he himself does that command to see how long he has.
It's because he lost track.
Yeah, he's like, oh god, feels bad, man. When do I finish?
Get me out.
Pretty much.
Yeah, just a neat little fun fact there, as they didn't really have too much of a connection there, but they were both on Kespa 8 team for a brief period of time.
Yeah, that's back when that's when Special was on the team as well with True and all that good stuff. It was all on Team 8. And yeah, I mean, it's great. Team 8 eventually turned into Jin Air, and Jin Air, it is the last remaining Korean team, one of the old Kespa teams. It's sure there is a Freaka, but they were never a Kespa team. It doesn't really, it's not necessarily the same thing. Kind of.
It's really not the same thing at all. There's that argument to be made that a Freak of Freaks started a Startail, because if I'm not wrong, in League of Legends, that's how it went down, right? They started a Startail, fought out by various different people, and then eventually became Freak of Freaks.
Not necessarily. You're missing out on Spanu in the middle of all that.
Right.
Yeah, it was Spanu who picked up the Startail roster, and then when Spanu went under, then it was a Freaka who picked up their roster.
Right.
Yeah. But it's really cool that they're still here. They're still supporting the scene. They still have a pretty solid roster. They've got plenty of players, and yeah, we'll see how Rogue is able to do here as one of the last remaining Zergs from one of those teams, as things have kind of been slowing. Oh my god, Rogue! He's doing it!
Yeah, Rogue is doing it!
Oh boy, alright, so we got +1 melee on the way, we got all this gas, he's there it is, Spire. He's going for mutas again.
Coming out here. Going for mutas once more. Dark, meanwhile, committed to the roaches as well. I'm getting some mad deja vu going on right now. Like, what is the definition of insanity again?
Oh my god, it's when you're Dark and you're playing ZvZs, essentially, because this has been his bane. Like, Dark has struggled so much against Muta play. It's what Solar did against him in the previous week, and we'll see what he's gonna do here. We'll see if he's even gonna be able to scout the Spire.
Yeah, and then even before that, the Banelings looked to give him a little bit of trouble going on. Hasn't lost any drones yet, so that's definitely a good start to this defense. But I just cannot help but peer over to the top left of the screen and remember there is a Spire being thrown down by Rogue. And Dark is none the wiser.
And Dark has literally no idea. He has no idea what is coming into, like, to meet him. He hasn't scouted the gases, he didn't scout the lair timing, he didn't go into the main base, he hasn't seen the tech, and right now he's just struggling to deal with all these lings. There are lings all over the place, but really this is such a massive distraction because the mutas are really what's going to be the nail in the coffin.
And the big question is, if you're Dark, will you really expect mutas to come out after such a dedicated Lingbane pressure?
Yes.
All right.
You have to, right? It's like, where are you spending your gas? Like, it's obviously not in roaches. When you are this committed to lings, when you scout and you click on them and you see that they have +1 melee attack as well, like, you have to know that mutas are coming. And I think that is why we see queens on the way. 3 queens in production for Dark. Immediately throws down the spores.
Immediately the spores have been thrown down, and interestingly enough, an infestation pit behind this.
Oh.
Maybe we're gonna be seeing some fungals coming out just as a way for, Dark to have a little bit of a Hail Mary and try to equalize the army count, but it's gonna be a while. I'm really curious as to how he's gonna utilize this infestation pit.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. It's gonna be for fungals. He's gonna be hoping that fungals and the hydras are gonna work out for him. I mean, sure, like with an infestation pit and with a hive, you can go for hydras and vipers, but again, like, you expect Rogue to split away from parasitic bombs. Like, you can't really rely on that.
Absolutely. Whereas fungals, that's hard to split from.
Yeah.
Or that's hard to retreat from.
Definitely.
Right,
Yeah.
oh, all the queens.
Yeah, so far a much better defense here. There are plenty of queens, but you know what? The lings, they get in, they get us around on the queens.
You get in. How did they even mention get on in?
Oh,
they are chewing through these queens. 50 +1 melee, all of them being taken out. And what is the anti-air left here for Dark? Might not even matter because these Zerglings, they are doing so much on their own.
Exactly. You know what? There's nothing to stop the mutas. The mutas are going to deny +2.
It is absolutely going to be taken out. These hydras, they're gonna hit so soft, essentially shooting pillows out of their mouths.
Exactly, and you know, there are a couple of spores here and there, but there are not enough queens for transfuse. 1 transfuse gets used, but that is it. That is all Dark had available to him, and things are just getting from bad to worse for Dark.
And that's definitely an understatement going down right there. Not a lot of anti-air, only these 5 hydralists remain. And as you said, you know, +1 hydras, they don't hit too hard against these mutas.
No, they do not. Yeah, all the hydras go down again. Once again, there is nothing that shoots up here. A couple more hydras are on the way for Dark, but not before this Baneling Nest is going to be going down. Like, more damage is going to be done. The lings, they got on top of another queen. Well, not even.
Not even going to be getting on that queen. This is just lays over as infestors are starting to come out, which is definitely a start, but Dark is going to need a lot more than a start. To be fair, he's still hitting the worker count behind in terms of the expansions, but you know, he's not dead yet. He's just in the process of dying. Yeah,
we'll see how good the fungals can be, as again, there was that upgrade. It was researched. He did prioritize that, so the infestors, they do have enough for fungals.
Down! But what is there to capitalize on that? Another beautiful fungal.
And we got 2 more.
But again, I wonder if that's going to be enough. There are 2 more fungals. Oh my lord. These mutas are trying to get out, but they cannot. That said, that seems like just enough DPS here for Rogue. Dark is running out of energy on these infestors real quick. But that was enough breathing room. We have a game on our hands!
We do. That was just enough. The fungals were good enough to take out the mutas, or were there, because another last-ditch fungal is used. Again, the problem is that there are no hydras to follow up to clean up the mutas.
Yeah, Dark is definitely trying, but Rogue, he is so good at picking off these hydras in low numbers. Whether he dives on them with his cloud of mutas, or he pounces on them with his lings. He just really make sure that Dark is unable to shoot at his mutas.
Yeah, and even this is hurting so much. No mining going on in the base of Dark at the 3rd base location. To be fair, he does have a decent amount of infestors, and he is slowly gathering more energy on them, but again, that's going to take quite a bit of time.
And it will, making use of his roaches as well. Going across the map, takes out a couple of workers here and there, but will be will be really cleaned away by the reinforcements of Rogue.
Oh, God.
Rogue, if he can take out this infestation pit.
That's it.
Maybe some more infestors.
Yeah, there's 2 infestors on the way, and those are going to be the last infestors for Dark. He does have some energy on them. He does have enough energy. He does have enough energy for a fungal, but you know what? The mutas, they realize the infestors are there, and they do back off.
That they do. There's going to be regrouping with the rest of the mutas, making their way across the map, trying to see if there's another opening going on here, maybe the main base or just about anywhere you can find them. Any damage that Rogue does now is good damage. It doesn't even need to be drones or what have you.
Yeah. To be fair, like there is still an opportunity, like one solid fungal and then the follow-ups with these hydras. Like Dark, he can take a really good fight. Like he can clean this up if Rogue messes up, if he doesn't split, if he doesn't spread preemptively.
Yeah, there's gonna be what's really gonna be testing Rogue right now. He has to really make sure that he doesn't bunch up his mutas too much. Make sure that they are nicely split. Does not even care about the spore. Dives right on top of that. The infestors are starting to come in, but Rogue is starting to come out.
Okay, he does back off. Nicely done. Meanwhile, we have a lot of Banelings here. Baneling speed about to finish up as well, and this could be enough Banelings to just click on that hatchery and just take it out.
Yeah. They also do really well against the Hydras, and again, that has been Dark's Achilles heel so far. He has anti-air, he just cannot utilize them. So what if you do get one better and just get rid of the anti-air? Banelings do manage to connect on the middle line. And what was that about? Okay, 37 have gone down in total this game. I'm talking about Dark's drones. That was at least 8 from that run by.
At least. Yeah, another run by, but you know what? It's just going to crash in and kill, 2, 3, 4 Hydras do go down. So again, nice trades just thinning the herd of Dark. But you know what? Like, Dark, his supply isn't looking too bad. Sure, he's incredibly down in terms of the workers, but as long as he's able to trade well against the Banelings, he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he definitely needs to do something now and try to take some initiative. Another really good connection here for Rogue. So another handful of Banelings, and now Dark, he's got to make a decision, Where do I push out? How do I use my infestors? Almost losing them. That would have been disastrous. They're pretty far back and looking pretty exposed right now.
Yeah, and you know what? Dark, he realizes that he does pull some of his units away. He has to babysit them as best he can to make sure they don't go down before they get their fungals off. And oh my god, that's a lot of overlords. We do have Dark going for the counterattack and heavily supply blocking Rogue.
Very heavily, and I feel like this is definitely enough army to take a hit-on engagement, but Rogue, he doesn't play by those rules. He's going straight for the mineral lines, really trying to get this base trade up.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see how a base trade is going to work out here. Actually, surprisingly, Rogue sends his lings back home.
Yeah, potentially trying to get a flank on top of that army of Dark coming down behind. So many mutas out right now, and they're not involved in the fight. Okay, now they're starting to turn around. Is it too late for Rogue, though?
That's the question, right? Rogue, yeah, he does turn around, and all his lings did turn into Banelings, so it looks like he's going to try and get the best engagement possible, but there is plenty of energy for Fungals.
Yeah, looking to try to brute force this from behind. Oh, Fungal being used on the Banelings, and that does save his Hydras. And once the Hydras is saved, these mutas looking to be in a lot of trouble. Dark, again, massive supply lead. He has plenty of energy on these Infestors, and he has a pretty good handful of Hydras as well, but they are starting to get thinned out, Light.
Oh my god, every single Hydra goes down. It's just Roaches and Infestors left for Dark, and Dark turns around. He doesn't have enough energy on his Infestors, so he goes home. He needs to keep them alive. Meanwhile, he sacrifices his Roaches again, trying to just dive in, deal as much damage as he can.
I am in complete awe right now, Light. How does Rogue have that perfect calculation going down? Seeing, alright, you actually don't have that many Hydras. I actually have a heck of a lot of mutas. Wanna fungal me? Sure, go ahead. I'm still gonna kill all of your anti-air and the rest of what you've got.
Exactly that
calculation being made.
Like, that engagement was beautiful. Like the pre-split, the surround of the mutas just diving on top of everything that Dark had, and it was really a combination of things, because again, the Hydra Den went down earlier. Like, Dark couldn't reinforce with his Hydras. What he had on the map was everything that he had, and now all he has is Infestors. He has 6 more Infestors on the way. A fungal is great and all, but he's grasping at straws now. Like, this is the only thing that he can do.
Yeah, he's gonna need a lot more than a single fungal.
And he's gonna have like 10 at least. Like, Jesus Christ, he's saving up so much energy. He's got 6 more on the way. But like, then you have to be concerned about the ground army as well. Like, there's just so much that needs to be fungled for Dark.
Yeah, the thing about fungals is they're kind of like Storm. They decimate low health units, but they don't actually do that much damage on their own. And mutas, they've got quite a bit of them. Health, I mean.
Oh yeah, definitely. And on top of that, like, Infestors, they're kind of slow as well. They're waddling around trying to keep up with the mutas. The mutas, they dive in, they dive out, just dealing whatever damage they can. And Dark, he's just stuck on 2 bases.
Stuck on 2 bases, stuck on all of these Infestors that can't even do much. I mean, if this was a previous patch, maybe you could have thrown down some Infested Terran for some anti-air, but that's not going to be the case. Maybe a Microbial Shroud.
Sure. I mean, it's possible. He could throw down a Microbial Shroud. Why not? He can just do whatever he can. But you know what? There's nothing stopping Rogue from just sending in, like, you know, a couple of banelings here and there at a time, just wasting fungals essentially. Like so.
Oh, that wasn't even the best use of a fungal there. Only a handful of banelings. Even managing to take out some pretty decent energy Infestors over there, Rogue was. Beautiful baneling connections, despite all of those fungals. Rogue just had the quantity, brute force his way through.
Yeah.
And now he's looking to brute force his way again.
Exactly. Rogue, he's retaking his bases. He's got his 4th up and running. He's expanding. He's taking a 5th. He's taking out the rocks as well, looking to reinforce as best he can. Meanwhile, Dark, he's just stuck making nothing but Infestors. And to be fair, like, that's literally the only way he can win. Like, he has no other tech structures. He can make roaches, which isn't what you want. Like, Infestors and spores are what you need to slowly expand, slowly like turtle up and try and get back into this. Which, I mean, props to Dark. He's trying, but oh my god, here comes Rogue.
Here comes Rogue once again. That was a juicy fungal. But in the back of your mind, you always gotta think, is that gonna be enough? So many banelings connected to that base. Dark cannot get an economy up. GG is called, and Rogue is gonna claim his first ever ESL Pro Tour Open Cup Championship. I know he won 2 Katowices, but come on, this is what he really wanted. Oh boy, oh boy. GG, well played is called. Rogue, gonna be your ESL Open Cup Asia 45 champion. You know, a nice little, what's the word I'm thinking of here, like, accent to the two Katowice trophies.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, this is Rogue's first win, which is surprising to say, but we were talking about, you know, the Korean teams earlier and how, you know, for the most part, they kind of focus on GSL, and because of that, Rogue, he hasn't really been too active when it comes to these EPT tournaments. He's only recently, in the past, like, month or 2, started signing up, and now he's finally taken his first win.
Indeed, he has. DD really a long time coming. I think a lot of people will look at that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, Rogue, he's the kind of player that you expect to take these tournament wins consistently. But yeah, like, the online tournament scene just hasn't been a big thing for some players like Rogue, like Maru, even SOS. Like, SOS, to be fair, he does sign up.
And he even won one.
Yeah, but he's very inconsistent, right? Like, it's like once every couple of months, you know? It's like, yeah.
I'm just looking at the general roster right now, and there's just one player left who has yet to sign up for an Open Cup.
And who is that?
That'd be Maru.
We're waiting for it with our breaths held. I mean, Maru, he didn't perform too well in DreamHack. He got knocked out in the group stage. But you know what?
Yeah, apparently he has a shoulder injury or something.
Oh, yeah.
So probably taking it easy for a while anyway.
Yeah, I hope he does take care of himself, as he does have to prepare not just for the upcoming online tournaments, but also for Super Tournament.
Yeah, it's gonna be super.
That it is, and
that was a steal.
That was awful. Oh god. But with that, congratulations, Rogue. He takes the W, takes the win, takes out Dark in the finals, and in what a fashion. Again, Dark, honestly, he struggles against mutas. I think that's something that a lot of the Korean Zerg players have really found out.
And you know what Rogue can do really well? Mutas.
Yeah. It's it was rough to see from Dark, and hopefully he's able to refine that. Hopefully, like, I would say that this is probably a good practice for Dark as well. Like, both Solar and Rogue, they've been really exploiting Spire play against Dark. And I mean, if this is like one of your weaknesses, then this is something that you need to work on. And what better practice than online tournament play like this?
Yeah, now you think about it. I mean, it's basically how Bjorn was able to win back in 2016. He's gotta grind the tournaments out.
Yeah, definitely. And with that, congratulations, and we are done for tonight. Unfortunately, there was a little bit more downtime than we are used to. Unfortunately, there were also a couple of casters that weren't here, like Maddox and especially Belair. Belair is usually on points, but I mean, I don't blame him.
Last night.
Yeah, DreamHack did go on for quite some time. I'm sure he's just resting up.
Yeah, hard to blame him. I mean, I almost stayed up for DreamHack just as a viewer until I was like, oh, what's going on late?
Yeah.
So I can imagine how that'd be like even as a caster.
Definitely. And shout out to Wardy and Into the Inu. They were able to join us here today. Wardy, he makes his return after being on hiatus in these tournaments for quite a number of months. He's been busy with DreamHack, but now that DreamHack is over, he is back. He has made his return.
Indeed he has.
And with that,
I don't have much to add. I mean, I always feel like it's really good to have at least two English casters for the Open Cups and what have you.
For sure.
Try to spread things out as much as you can.
Definitely, as best as we can. And with that, Yaku.
Yes.
We're gonna be closing out for tonight. Why don't you tell the people where are you from? What's up?
Well, I was born in around the central area. It was a hospital in the central area of Singapore. I guess you could say that's where I'm from. Moved around a lot, but I will always be from Yishun.
There you go.
Find me over at twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. Probably not going to be streaming for the next 2 weeks as deadlines are looming for assignments and what have you. Twitter.com at Empora Yakuzaku. There's some nonsense going on every now and then. !Discord. You can find myself as well as the other members of CranKy in the CranKy Ducklings Discord channel. And other than that, buy my shirts. Where can we find you, Light?
Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. You can follow me there, where you can find a couple of simple ladder streams or some behind the scenes streams where I'm working on thumbnails or VODs or something of that nature for the CranKy Ducklings. But more importantly, you can follow us here on the CranKy Ducklings as we are live throughout the week with plenty of casting, as you can currently see on your screen. Our next broadcast is going to be on Friday with Masters Swan Open.
Yeah, we get quite a number of players signing up for that. Obviously from the leagues of Diamond 2, Masters 2, 49k or 4.9k MMR, rather, I should say. So, if that's something that, if that sounds like your alley, may as well get in there.
Yeah, definitely. We've got tournaments for amateur players, we've got tournaments for oceanic players, Southeast Asian players, Latin America, North America, and here on Mondays we do cast ESL Open Cup Asia for that Korean StarCraft as well. So yeah, consider hitting that follow button, consider going to our YouTube channel because all our VODs are uploaded there if you are interested in some of these tournaments and they're not at the best time for you. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. It's been great. It was a wild ride. It was great to see Bjorn again. He did so well today.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, not quite enough to make it to the finals, but again, he had a really good showing. And oof.
Look, we really know what happened. Honestly, I feel like Dark kind of sighed a breath of relief when we saw his opponent.
Definitely.
Yeah, that would have been a very hype matchup, but yeah, well, it's not meant to be.
Not quite. God damn it, Bjorn. Why didn't you just open up safe and go Reaper first and scout?
Reaper scout that game, man.
God damn it, Bjorn. But yeah, regardless, it was a great day of StarCraft. Congratulations once again to Rogue. And we are done for today. Stay tuned as, we're going to be raiding M. Canning.
Oh, always good to see Chris Cannon coming out again. Coming out here.
Definitely. All right. Thanks everyone for watching.
Stream for that. Just for that.
Thanks everyone for watching. Ciao.
Thanks. Bella.